dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke, and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. My dear students, today we will be learning the topic struggle or the freedom struggle of 1857, which we have already started. And in the first part of this lesson, we studied about struggle before 1857, causes for the struggle of 1857, and in the causes we discussed about the economic causes, social causes, political causes, discontent among Indian soldiers, immediate cause, the outburst, scope of the struggle, and leadership of the struggle. Now today in the same topic we will be learning the points: crushing of the struggle, causes of failure of the struggle, consequences of the freedom struggle, and end of rule of East India Company. So the first point with which we are going to start today is crushing of the struggle. Here now on the screen, as you can see, the map of freedom struggle of 1857, and in that this yellow one, which is territory under British control, and the red dots which shows important centers of uprising, and by that you can understand the uprising locations, and the dotted lines which is the present external boundary of India. So the Indians wholeheartedly fought against the British, including soldiers, zamindars, kings, commanders, and common people also, that we already studied. The Indian sepoys started the freedom struggle before the fixed time, and initially they succeeded, but military strength and administration of British rule was vast. So the British crushed down the struggle by all means. The British made quick recovery and within next 6 months regained the lost territories. In this, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Kunwar Singh, Ahmadullah led their lives. So here the most important thing which we have to understand, that though there was a freedom struggle we call the struggle of 1857, but after that, after crushing down the struggle, British made quick recovery. जितनी भी जगहें थी जो इस फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल के दौरान इंडियंस ने ले ली थी, उसे अगले 6 ही महीने ने ब्रिटिशर्स ने रिकवर कर दिया, अपने पास उन्हें ले लिया. Bahadur Shah was imprisoned at Rangoon, and then Nana Sahib and Begum Hazrat Mahal took shelter in Nepal. Tatya Tope fought for next 10 months against the British, but due to betrayal he was caught and hanged to death. In this way, by the end of 1858, the British ruthlessly, hear the word ruthlessly, the British ruthlessly crushed down the struggle. By using all the ways, by using all the means, they crushed this struggle. But even though this struggle began with the discontent among the Indian soldiers, but the latter, the peasants, artisans, common people, tribes came together to fight against the British. And in this rebellion, Hindus, Muslims stood up with a great force. Their common aim was overthrowing the British from India, but then also it failed And now we'll discuss about the reasons or the causes of failure of the struggle. In that, the very first is the struggle was not comprehensive, lack of central leadership, most of the feudatory princes remained aloof, lack of military tactics, and one more, international situation favorable for Britishers. All these are the reasons because of which the freedom struggle of 1857 failed. Now one by one in detail we'll discuss about this. So here is the first one. The struggle was not comprehensive. The struggle did not take place simultaneously all over India. जैसे हमने मैप में देखा कि बहुत सारी जगहों पे ये स्ट्रगल हुआ, टेरिटरी अंडर ब्रिटिश कंट्रोल एंड द इम्पोर्टेंट सेंटर्स ऑफ अपराइजिंग, ये दो चीज़ें जो हमने मैप में देखी, लेकिन एक साथ साइमल्टेनियसली एक ही बार सब जगह से अपोज नहीं हुआ, कहीं पर कम, कहीं पर ज़्यादा, तो कहीं पर लेट, कहीं पर बहुत जल्दी. इसी की वजह से ये जो स्ट्रगल ऑफ 1857 है फेल हुआ. इट्स इंटेंसिटी वॉज मोर सीवियर इन नॉर्थ इंडिया, बट राजपुताना, पंजाब and some parts of Bengal and north west India remained aloof. इन सब चीज़ों से वो दूर रहे. Then the next reason, lack of central leadership. There was no commonly accepted leader to fight against the British. कोई एक लीडर अगर होता तो वो लीडर एक डायरेक्शन दे देता था इस स्ट्रगल को और सबको इकट्ठा करने का काम कर सकता था. बट इट वॉज नॉट हैपन बिकॉज द लैक ऑफ सेंट्रल लीडरशिप, एंड ड्यू टू दिस देयर वॉज नो यूनिफॉर्मिटी इन द स्ट्रगल अगेंस्ट ब्रिटिश. यूनिफॉर्मिटी विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. हर जगह पे एक ही तरह से अगर अपोज होता था तो शायद कुछ बात बनती, बट because of not only the lack of central leadership, but as there was lack of central leadership, and because of that there was no uniformity. Next thing, lack of military tactics, or the before that there is one more, most of the feudatory princes remained aloof. Just as the common people suffered due to British rule, similarly the princes also were suffering, but except few others remained faithful to the British, and it was the matter of adjustment or the rights given by Britishers to that particular princes. Then the next thing, causes of failure of the struggle, and in that the lack of military tactics, which one is very important. Indian soldiers were brave but did not use tactics. They captured Delhi but could not retain it. दिल्ली जीत तो ली लेकिन उसे संभाल नहीं पाए. Similarly, the Indian rebels had limited armed supply because they were new in that field, we can say. The British had economic strength, very important, disciplined army, enough stock of latest arms, and experienced army generals. Now here again the thing which we have to understand, एक तो ब्रिटिश लड़ रहे इंडियंस के खिलाफ थे, इंडिया में ही लड़ रहे थे, लेकिन इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रेंथ जो है वो ब्रिटिशर्स की ज़्यादा थी. मतलब उनके पास जो इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रेंथ थी वो अपनी ही थी. डिसिप्लिन आर्मी जो उन्होंने यहाँ के ही लोगों को लेके बनाई थी. इनफ स्टॉक ऑफ लेटेस्ट आर्म्स जो वो बनाते थे या फिर कहीं और से मंगवाते थे. एंड एक्सपीरियंस्ड आर्मी जनरल्स. सिंस ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड कम्युनिकेशन was in the hands of British, their movements were swift, and due to this the Indian sepoys could not succeed. Because of the transport and communication, it was very easy for them to reach from one place to another place, or to send messages from one troop to another troop, or from the one army center to another army center. Next one, international situations which was favourable to the British. The Crimean War with Russia was just over. The British won that war and they had trade relations with the different countries in the world, and that's why the world was in the side of Britishers, we can say. The naval strength of British was vast, whereas the Indian rebels were isolated. रिबेल्स थे लेकिन वो अपनी अपनी जगह पे अपनी अपनी तरह से उनको अपोज कर रहे थे. देयर वॉज नो लीडर, देयर वॉज नो मिलिट्री टैक्टिक्स एंड लैक ऑफ सेंट्रल लीडरशिप, एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स रिजल्ट्स इनटू द फेल्योर ऑफ द 1857 struggle. Now the next thing, by this chart, again the same thing I'll repeat. It will be very easy for you to keep in mind that the administrative reasons for failure of 1857 revolt, there was no planning among the rebels. It was an unorganized effort. Very important word, unorganized effort. The leadership was weak or lack of central leadership. There was no direction to the movement. Military reasons, British Army was superior in organization. British Army had unlimited supplies. The rebels had limited supplies and outdated ammunitions. Ideological reasons, all sections did not participate. For example, princes and educated class remain away or aloof from this struggle. There was no alternative to feudalism put forth by the rebels. Now the next point, consequences of the freedom struggle or the end of rule of East India Company. Now due to the company rule, there was growing dissatisfaction among the Indians and the British rule had to face the struggle of 1858. 1857. It forced the British Parliament to end the rule of the company and instead take over the responsibility of ruling over the people of India through the Government of India Act 1858. On the screen, as you can see, because of the struggle of 1857, British Parliament forced to end the rule of the company. The Governor General was now designated as the Viceroy of India. Who was designated as the Viceroy of India? Governor General. So Lord Canning, here you can see, happened to be the last Governor General and the first Viceroy. Governor General post जो थी वो गई और उसकी जगह पे Viceroy की आई. तो लास्ट गवर्नर जनरल अब Viceroy बन चुका था. A new post called Secretary of State was created in the British government to look after the affairs of India. And the Queen's Proclamation. All Indians are our progeny, and henceforth there will not be discriminated on basis of race, religion, here race, religion, caste or birthplace. Government services will be given on merit. Here Queen Victoria of England issued a declaration addressing the people of India, and according to that they will not be discriminated on basis of race, religion, caste or birthplace. So government services will be given on merit. There will be no interference in religious affairs. Now why this? Because the struggle of 1857 was only because of the religious matters or because of the interference of Britishers or East India Company into religious matters of Indians. It was made clear that the British Crown will honor all treaties and agreements made by the company with the rules of princely states, and no princely state will be annexed henceforth. So directly or indirectly, the whole power now was in the hands of the Queen or the Britishers, not in the hands of East India Company. Next point, change in composition of army. ये सब क्यों हो रहा था? क्योंकि जो 1857 का स्ट्रगल हुआ, फिर से ऐसा स्ट्रगल इन लोगों को नहीं चाहिए था, किसी भी तरह का अपोज उन्हें नहीं चाहिए था, एंड दैट इज व्हाई द चेंजेस वर देयर. सो चेंज इन कंपोजिशन ऑफ आर्मी. The proportion of British soldiers was increased in the army. English officers were placed at strategic locations so that they can take decisions and change any strategy anytime. Artillery was kept exclusively in the hands of the British. Why this now? क्योंकि अगर कोई इंडियन सिपाही रिबेल भी करे तो वो आर्टिलरी उसके हाथ में ना लगे, वो कहीं और उसका यूज़ ना करे. दैट इज़ वाई इट वॉज केप्ट एक्सक्लूसिवली इन द हैंड्स ऑफ द ब्रिटिश. देयर वॉज डिवीजन ऑफ मिलिट्री ऑन बेसिस ऑफ कास्ट. Proper care was taken to avoid, this one is very important again, proper care was taken to avoid Indians to unite and rebel. एक तो यूनाइट भी ना हो, और अगर यूनाइट हुए तो वो ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ या कंपनी के खिलाफ कोई रिबेल ना करे, इसकी पूरी तरह से केयर की गई ताकि फिर से 1857 जैसा कोई स्ट्रगल खड़ा ही ना हो. Next and the last point, change in policy. The British accepted the policy of non-interference in social and religious aspects of Indians. So here the thing is very clear. उनको सिर्फ एक चीज़ से लेना था, इंडिया पर राज करना है और यहाँ से जितना हो सके उतना पैसा लेके अपने देश में लेके जाना है. सो दैट द ब्रिटिश एक्सेप्टेड द पॉलिसी ऑफ नॉन इंटरफेरेंस इन सोशल एंड रिलीजियस एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ इंडियंस. दे ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड टेकिंग केयर दैट द इंडियन सोसाइटी विल नॉट बी यूनाइटेड ऑन सोशल ग्राउंड्स, नॉट एट एनी कॉस्ट. दे सॉ टू इट दैट देयर विल बी constant conflicts on grounds of caste, religion, race, territory, etc. And this was the policy of British government. आपस में ही इंडियंस को लड़ाते रहना है. It may be on the basis of caste or on the basis of religion or on the basis of race or on the basis of territory, so that वो इकट्ठा ही नहीं होंगे ब्रिटिशर्स के खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए. They adopted the policy of polluting the minds of Indians by following the divide and rule policy. This was the key of the British government, divide and rule. Due to the freedom struggle of 1857, the Indians felt of giving a united fight against the British rule, and the freedom struggle of 1857 became an inspiration of Indian freedom movement. But about that we'll talk in the next session and in the next topic. Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications. So my dear ones, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.